Well, welcome to this vintage farmhouse antiques video presentation about this particular pattern of china. A very elegant looking part tea service, I hope you'll agree, made by Crown Staffordshire at the Minerva Works in Fenton, England, and the pattern is F15793. Lyric Tunis, it's often called, and this is the blue version. A little more turquoise, I'd say, than blue. But what an elegant and beautifully decorated set of English teawares. So let's have a closer look at some of these pieces, show you the china marks, talk about the dates for this particular line, and I'm going to talk a little about the missing piece in this part tea set. So often the missing piece, the teapot, if you've got one, guard it with your life, because it's increasingly quite a valuable and rare piece of porcelain china to find, particularly in undamaged and as bright a condition as this tea set we're about to show you. So stay tuned, let's have a look at Crown Staffordshire Tunis Lyric Blue. Well, we're better to start than with this marvellous square cake plate with its eared handles and hand-applied gilt decoration. This is a transfer printed design. None of this work is actually hand-painted or hand-coloured, and that gives you some clue in terms of the dates. Lyric or Lyris Blue was made between 1930 and the late 1950s, very early 1960s. So by that time, Crown Staffordshire were using almost entirely transfer printed designs with very little hand decoration. So the only piece that's been hand painted on these pieces will be the gilt decoration and the lineage around the outside. And if I turn it over and show you the china marks, let's get this up the right way and bring it into focus so you can get a good view on that. Fine bone china, Crown Staffordshire. These marks were introduced in the 1930s and continued up until around 1956 to 1960. Crown Staffordshire were producing bone china a lot earlier than this, and the marks changed very subtly over a long period of production, so do pay attention. There are good references online on the Potteries website to the Crown Staffordshire marks used. And then the decorator's mark and the pattern reference there, F, a little difficult to make out on this one, then 15793. It's beautifully moulded. There is a little bit of rib moulding here just on the corners. Lovely gilt around the edge in absolutely superb condition. And what makes this particular set stand out is the brightness of the glaze. And when you're looking and buying china of this era, it's important to get a glazed reflection, and I don't know whether you can see that on the camera, but there is not a knife mark on this cake plate, and you would expect there to be some element of wear, considering this is probably 1930s or 1940s production. But this one, I think, has been in its entire life on display and never actually been used, which is what you're looking for. The very finest and best quality pieces will have the minimum degree of wear and a really bright glaze shine. Well, let's next have a look at one of these trios and the shapes they've used. Again, beautifully moulded. Little bit of fleur-de-lis handle detailing here with a single double knot and an angle base. Pedestal footed with, again, gilt line decoration around the outside, but it's the beautiful floral transfer print with that turquoise almost blue background that really makes these stand out. Again, slightly moulded. I can feel that with my hands. I don't know whether you'll be able to see it, but there is some sort of rib moulding in the actual wall, the slight nip there in the shape of the teacup, and then it elevates to this nicely scalloped, irregularly scalloped rolling gilt rim. As I said, lovely detailing on the handle, and just look how fresh and bright that is, considering this is 1930s, 1940s. Quite often you expect wear here where the thumbs have worn the gilt away over the years, but this one has had very, very light use. A little bit of block transfer decoration on the inner wall of the teacup, and these are all really nice, clean interiors. Translucent bone china, nice and thin, and absolutely fine condition. Let's just show you over the saucer. Again, beautifully decorated. I mean, they used a full transfer pattern on this. They couldn't really squeeze very much more detailing into that, could they? Again, with nice period matching bone china marks on the base, and the same for the little side plates, almost flat in side elevation, but in beautiful condition with this lovely decoration. And again, you're looking at any wear or scrapes or scratches on these, particularly, you know, around the rim, check them all for any chips or damage. These are in mint condition, as bright as the day they came out of the Royal Stafford factory in Fenton. A really nice and pretty example of Crown Staffordshire English floral bone china. Two more pieces to show you, the milk jug and the sugar basin. Now the shape of the milk jug picks up on that teacup design really, with pedestal foot, slight moulding ribbing in the wall here on this converse arch. Very large oversized handle on this one, but again with beautiful gilt decoration in almost mint condition. Nice clean interior, and the rims absolutely beautiful gilt detailing again. Half pint milk jug this, again with the matching Crown Staffordshire marks. No F number on here, the decorators hadn't actually put the pattern reference for what they were decorating with the gilt. And again, the sugar basin. A nice standard size sugar basin, probably about 5.5, 5.25 inches, pedestal footed, waisted with that moulding on the outer wall, again with the scalloped irregular rims and that little bit of inner wall detailing matching the teacups. Absolutely clean and bright. Again, the glaze on this absolutely spectacularly in new condition, and again with the F15793 decorator's mark on the base. So a really clean and pretty example of Crown Staffordshire, dating from the 1950s back to the 1930s at the very earliest, so possibly just turning antique over the next few years. The missing piece in this set, as we mentioned earlier, is the teapot, and it would have had one, obviously, as part of this set. May have been part of a much bigger dinner service. They made this pattern across dinnerwares and the teawares as well, so there will be out there dinner plates, serving dishes, tureens, platters, a variety of different size flatware, from side plates right the way up to probably 10.5 or 11-inch dinner plates in this design. But it's the teapot which is the really rare piece to find in this day and age. And as I mentioned earlier, if you have one, do take care and look after it. It's probably worth on the market currently between £80 and £100 in this particular design. Crown Staffordshire, one of the probably underrated English bone china manufacturers from the 20th century, in my opinion. They had some absolutely spectacular patterns and designs. The moulding shapes that they used were on par with the first rank production facilities of Crown, Derby and Worcester, in my opinion, and the gilt and decorating skills that they had there was certainly on par with those. So if you're looking for a good value but very fine quality English tea set, then Crown Staffordshire is certainly one to look out for. Thanks for watching. This set is all going to be listed on the Vintage and Antiques website over the coming weeks. We are going to sell them as replacement trios, with the cake plate, sugar basin and milk jug probably as a set of 3, going to one lucky buyer. It's quite a rare and increasingly popular pattern to find if you can get it. And the clue when we say blue is there for you to note that this was made in a variety of different colours. So it's quite an unusual one to see, sometimes in a sort of harlequin mix of design. Same pattern but in a different ground background. Thanks for watching.